Hey everybody, it's Bust. We're going to do it a little bit differently today. If you've been here for a while, you might be familiar with the left pack drafts. We're kind of approaching the end of the Monuments of Power limited season. The new cards come out, should be 3 days from when this video comes out. I think they come out on the 16th of December. We're kind of wrapped up with the Monuments of Power. And so, at the end of the seasons, I do kind of like to meme it up a little bit. The left pack draft is something that comes from Magic Online. If you've ever played Magic Online, or it really applies to any of the Magic-based drafting formats, where you open the pack, and then the rare card is at the top left, or it's like 3 down, I guess, 4 down, whatever. Anyways, but the rare is at the top left, the uncommons are the next 3 cards, and then it's commons from that point forward. And so what came of this was a thing called right pack drafting, where as kind of a draft challenge, people would just take the bottom right card in the pack, which was guaranteed to be the common for the most part, and tended to just be the worst card in the pack. Not always, but in general, it turned out to be pretty bad. And so then at the end of the day, try to see if you can go win a booster draft by just picking the bottom right card out of the pack. We do a similar thing here. We just take whatever pack is on the left and roll with it. I do allow myself the trade picks. I don't think it's too exciting to just run through and completely go random mode the entire way. So we do take the left pack all throughout the draft, and then give ourselves the trade picks to try to craft a real deck throughout the remainder of the run. So we'll be memeing it up here a little bit, but before we get there, I do want to take a peek at the new cards that were released. We're going to look at the new ones up through Zoe, but before we talk about her, we'll just go through the individual cards as they go. I like it when there's more kind of like thematic cards pushed around. It just kind of feels like a random release of dudes and cards, but nonetheless, it's okay. And big thanks to Cosmic Plays on the old Twitch. He hangs out on the Twitter and puts out these useful images, so we don't have to deal with trying to maintain a video while recording a video. So with these cards like Pesky Spectre up here in the top left, historically have just been horrible. Playing a card that you add copies of a card your opponent doesn't want into their deck, just never good enough. This is also a card just for the memes. I don't recommend going after it. Evershade Stalker is reasonably interesting in Expedition. He does have Fearsome and is kind of a continual source of damage. Granted that you can Nightfall him over and over, shouldn't be that tough to pull off, given that you draw a card every turn. You just play the card you draw and then play your Evershade Stalker. He's not ultimately too powerful, but decks like Diana have real trouble closing out games, and so just getting an extra dude to slam down and get some Nightfall activations at the end of the game, kind of interesting. He is epic, so probably won't see him too frequently, but he does live there. The Grand Plaza, ultimately incredibly super powerful. Any deck would be super happy to have this, and I see a lot of games just being ended very quickly with this coming down. Just being able to on curve dictate a combat every single attack phase, and then have big blockers on your opponent's turn. It's just an incredibly powerful ability. Look forward to drafting this one, the one time we see it. Down here with the Solari Sunforger, he really helps with Invoke Diana decks. What I really suppose Diana wants to look like now is just having the Solari early game units, Diana, the Sunforger, and then the 3-cost Invoke, your standard Daybreak cards, and then top end of just Ravoon and Eclipse Dragon. It didn't really need to be finding Solari Sunforger. I felt like Diana needed some kind of weakness. It tends to be not having any removal spells, but if the Diana game can go long, then it's probably just got to win because the invokes are so good, and the Sunforger really pushes to help that end happen. Oh, buddy. And so, interesting little unit. Over here with Moonlit Affliction, I can't really decide what I feel about this. Like, comparing this to other games, this would be horrible, right? This isn't one of these things to where, like, let's double up a card and make it better. Like, there's typically, on the silence piece of Moonlit Affliction, you're not looking to silence 2 units. That's what makes Hush so good, right? We just really want that cheap ability to shut down all your opponent's buffs on 1 unit. It's not very common where we want to actually hit 2. Like your opponent needs to be playing like back to back or multiple spells. Like it feels like kind of like a once in a lifetime thing when you get like a really good 2 burst on this silence. But the thing that's really kind of interesting to me is the burst nightfall card. And you know, the thing that like stranges me out with Runeterra so much is things like life gain have historically been terrible. Things like just making chump blocks to preserve your health total have been terrible. And in most games, the saying goes, your life total doesn't matter until it's 0. And that still think that holds true, but the burst damage in Runeterra is so huge. There's kind of more of an ebb and flow in most of the other games we've played as far as the units coming down and building an overwhelming board advantage, and then eventually just kind of like crushing through. But with Runeterra, it very frequently feels like you just take your opponent from like 14 to 0, or you take them from 13 to 0 very, very quickly. And things like Moonlit Affliction really seem to make that kind of interesting. It doesn't seem um, all that unheard of to be closing games out with this. And so we'll be interested to give this a try. Again, things like Diana decks and Nocturne decks will be super happy to have this. Targon decks in general should be pretty happy as long as they aren't invokes. I don't think invoke decks really care about closing out games quickly, but this seems fairly interesting to me in this no block kind of ability. Over here with Targon's Peak, I'm going to go ahead and say this one's probably garbage. I'm not a huge fan of these effects that, if they affect both players, then fine, but you need to be getting some kind of value out of this first. And so having this thing that, RNGs your opponent's card down to 0, and they get the advantage of that first, that's really pretty unfortunate. And so, I'm sure the idea is supposed to be your opponent's playing a normal deck and you're playing a bunch of Aurelian Souls, and, your average card quality should be much higher than your opponent's, and you're getting to play them on the cheap to make up for your opponent getting this bonus first. But in general, I think this is probably just going to be horrible. But we'll give it a try. I'm not that excited about it. And Captain Erika, the last one here, he's fine. This isn't an ability that the Demacia is like super looking for. For the most part, they want their late game units to just be closing out the game, whether or not that is like Cytherea or Genvivi, or if it's who's he called, the girl that gives you a rally, things like that just come down and have the game end. Whereas just killing your opponent's best unit is pretty good. Like I don't want to downplay the ability of having a detain on a unit, but this is still very expensive, and typically I don't feel like this is an effect that Demacia is going to be going out of its way to find. I think it's a card we won't be upset to have, but it's not something we're going to be actively seeking. And so, on to the next ones. With the Monastery of Hirana, I can't quite place where we want this. There's just like this sanctuary having to recall an ally. This probably wants to play in some kind of like disciplined Z deck to where you have all the hand buff cards, but you just don't have time to do all that shit. And so it is kind of interesting to be adding a spell to your hand every turn. There's certainly a lot of value in that type of ability. Maybe we can get Lisa unhappy with this or something, but this at a glance, I feel like this is going to be fairly weak as well. Over here to Boomship, I think this is decent. The Mega Keg style Gangplanks and Sejuani decks are okay with these to a degree, but getting a Powder Keg back, like I rarely say that you're going to get. Like have a powder keg on board and then play this and then have a stack of powder kegs. I don't think that'll happen too frequently, but if you're wanting to get a powder keg on the board and remove a unit in the process, then this is probably a way to do it. And so it does have some of these side synergies to where you can just blast your opponent in the face on their turn, maybe hit a plunder, maybe level up your gangplank. There are things that you can do with the Boomship. I just don't feel like the payoff is quite there. So I'd say that feels like this is going to be one of these cards to where it's like it's the bottom end of cards that you're okay to have in your deck. We don't really want to be playing the Boomship. We really don't want to be playing the Powder Keg cards out of Mega Keg unless we have have them generated from units, but it is a removal spell. It can get some value and leave a powder keg. I don't want to say this is going to be horrible, but it feels like right there on the cusp of like it's not a card that like we're pleased to have, but we're also not feeling like it's unplayable whenever we draw it. But to hype things up, though, there's the Scar Grounds down here on the bottom left. Seems incredibly powerful to me. The seems like the Battle Scars theme has like really been moving over to the Freylord side with the addition of all the trolls in this set, and now seeing things like the Scar Grounds. It's kind of nice to see this at Epic, so we won't have to deal with it too frequently. But with the way that Riot's been handling. A lot of these monuments here recently and just putting them in the champion pools, wouldn't be surprised to see this added to Battle Scars. It's kind of a dangerous game to do things like that because these landmarks are ultra powerful. Some of these just immediately close out the game, and this one being one of them. Just giving your all of your units tough and additional damage is a pretty big deal when your deck's already trying to do that anyways, and so. These typically rate much more powerful than any cards that you're going to see in the run. And so, we do have a few pools, like there's Blood on the Ice Ashe, there's whatever, I think they just made a second one. It's slipping my mind, but it's kind of scary if they move to start making like 5 and 6 and 8 pools that have these landmarks in them, because then you still have shitty pools like Enlightenment Karma that just doesn't have access to that ability. It's like you're getting a free high powered epic if you run into one of those pools, and there's just no way to include these in all of them. So we'll see how that pans out. It is, again, another epic. It'll be rare to see an expedition, but it will be extremely good if you do come across it. Over here with Homecoming, this is fine. Will of Ionia has been historically worse at 5 mana. Really wish it costs 4 again, but you can get some additional value out of this by self-recalling a unit. You can pop an opponent's landmark, and so this isn't an ability that Ionia wants a whole bunch of, but again, much like we say in the way of Boomship, we're kind of okay to have one. We're not going to be upset to have this in our deck. We're probably not going to get much side value out of this additional recall, but this is something we're going to be encountering in Expedition, and it's not horrible. Over here with Wiggly Burblefish, again, another epic. It's going to be tough to find. Should be, fairly easy to get into board. Like, how much would we be willing to pay for like a 3-attack elusive, like 4 mana? Okay, you're going to play 2 spells in some course of the game, and then if you get to play this on turn 5 for 0 or 1, then congratulations. Just on stats and being elusive alone, it's going to be a pretty good deal. And then having this thing to where it creates the 1-cost spells from your regions, adding an additional 2 to 3 cards to your hand is pretty good. Even, if you randomly spike a Jettison or whatever, the Burblefish is the real deal. This is good stuff right here. And the last one on the individual card previews, It That Stares on the right. Not a huge fan of this. It's not an ability that Freylord really needs. It doesn't really do enough killing for this kind of effect. Just going murder mode on all the small units on the board. Kind of whatever at this stage of the game. On turn 8, obliterating all the landmarks. These are epics. I'm trying to think. The last time we even saw one, we see them maybe like once every 2 or 3 runs, and so there's not enough reason to be playing anti-landmark cards when they're all epic. Our story on this may change a year down the road if they keep printing landmarks and they're common and rare and they're all over the fucking place, and then having this way to just come in and obliterate them. Sure, but as the game stands right now, that's not a super huge ability. This is certainly not a She Who Wanders. A little on the weaker side. Rather just be playing Usgar. I guess Usgar does kind of remind me that this is an 8 cost for a Behold, but not something I'm super excited to have in my deck. Okay, and then the stuff people get super excited for, the new champion in Zoe. Not real excited. I initially thought that she was one of these cards to where she flips without seeing it, and so you just play cards with 10 different names. That's fairly easy to pull off with something like a unlicensed innovation or whatever the cat submarine is, but having to see it is a pretty huge deal, and so you're going to have to kind of go out of your way to try to find Blessing of Targons or some way to give her spell shield, which, I mean, you can do if you want. She does generate super cool star charts that let you invoke a cheap celestial, and then with those cheap celestials, you can try to get the spell shield one. But this is like a lot of work for not a whole lot of payoff, right? If we were just trying to play like 5 or 6 spells, then her flip is incredibly powerful. You're going to win almost every single game you flip Zoe, but there is this like huge opportunity cost to try to actually play 10 cards while she sits on the board. I feel like in the last couple expedition trials we did, we played an excessive number of Timo games, and we just kind of killed him at will. And I think that's what will also happen with Zoe. And so she seems like kind of a turd to me. If we just kind of look at her as a card that can like activate Nightfall and generate some stuff that plays well with like Diana. Maybe she can find a home in some of these kind of aggressive decks. I'm not quite seeing it. Granted, I'm not like the best like innovative deck builder. I'm much better at tuning, but I don't think this really feels like a card that I'm super excited about. And so time will tell with Zoe. My initial impression of her is that she's pretty bad, but this flip is pretty good. Whenever it comes to this flip, kind of the cyclical idea that we'll have here is that we're doing all this stuff with invokes, and then with this, for the rest of the game, when you summon an ally, grant its keywords to all allies, and then you just play one of these like spell shielded elusive. What are they called? Celestials. Then yeah, you're just going to win that game. And so, the payoff here is pretty big, but with her, it feels like the cost to get there is just a little bit too steep. So to continue with her cards up here on the top right with Trouble Bubble and Paddle Star, people on Twitter are going like fuck all, like trying to make comparisons to Guile and Swain Strike, but that's I don't feel like that's really the way to look at it. It's kind of like saying, if you're playing Hearthstone with Priest, what would you pay for a like a Lightning Bolt style card? Just like there's Holy Smite at 1 mana. But what would you pay for like 3 damage? Or, if you want to move to a different class, like, it's not apples to apples comparison saying, you know, uh, whatever it is, Noxus has Guile Swain Strike. This is all wrapped up into a single card. The only removal that Targon has is Sunburst, and so I think this is pretty reasonable. Would I be excited about spending 5 mana at slow speed to deal 4 damage? Probably not. Depends on the deck, though. The removal, you get to these points with Targon decks, especially with Invoke decks, to where you just kind of have to find something. You got to get some amount of removal into your deck. You can't be making an expedition run with 0 removal spells. And if it's pick 12 and you don't have any, sure, we're slamming Trouble Bubble. But I think people are kind of looking at this the wrong way, or maybe it's just much more of a constructed bias to where you don't really want to be spending 5 mana on a removal spell. And so I think this is okay, especially when we kind of look to, Zoe wants you to be playing cards with different names. It generates a card for Victor. Like there's just a bunch of, kind of side abilities that we can do with this to where, we can get some additional value out of just having a really slow 4 damage spell. So with these other ones, down here on the bottom left, Spell Thief, not something I'm super excited about. There's just too many times where this card's going to be dead. Should be getting good cards on average, right? We don't play a lot of cheap spells and expeditions. They tend to all be combat tricks, so you probably play it and just get a combat trick your opponent's already played. It is burst, so you can do kind of cute shit like Spell Thief your opponent's Brittle Steel, then Brittle Steel in combat, but in general, I think this is fairly weak. And then down here on the bottom right, Starry Scamp is pretty good in my opinion. I'm a huge fan, like as one of my evaluation principles for cards is like, does it let you cheat? And Starry Scamp does let you cheat. Playing a 0 mana unit can have a lot of bonuses and interactions and all around good deals that happen with it. And so it is, understated by 1 point. As it stands, we expect to get 5 stats and some upside out of a 2-cost unit. So it is 1 stat short, but being able to play this for free is a pretty big deal. Especially with like I just talk about Diana all day. I guess it's because there's so many Targon cards that we're looking at. But Diana is pretty excited to have this. We're typically trying to play gems and Spacey Sketchers anyways, and so I don't think this will be too hard to pull off. And then lastly, down here on the bottom right, the Sparklefly, a 1/2 elusive lifesteal for 2. Not too excited about it. This is I've been talking about a lot about having like a card like right on the edge of not being sad about having. This one is kind of the opposite of that. Like I'm sad about having this, but it's like almost to the point to where I'm not sad. I'm just a little sad about Sparklefly, not big sad. And so, there might be a deck to where this can perform. Maybe you get to pair this up with Tarek or something, and you can do a bit of work with this. But as it stands, if we don't have like Tarek to give this some additional value or another support card, it's typically not something we're looking to be playing with. But I think that does a quick review. It only took us about 20 minutes to get through, but we did it. So we're back to the draft now. Like I said before, we're going to be doing a left pack draft here. We're just going to take whatever card is over on the left. So let's see who we end up with here. It's going to be a Frozen Solid Ashe. Pretty reasonable. This is a good start for Ashe with the Starlit Seer Icevale Archer. This Frozen Solid deck, I typically don't recommend building around it. I typically only look at this as a support card pool because putting in all of this work into Ashe flipping, the payoff typically isn't there. When we're sitting around playing like a whole bunch of spells, I want to be like removing our opponent's units and not just slowing them down. And these, to the most part, just slow them down. And so you can get decent combos with these, but I much prefer to be playing removal spells as opposed to kind of awkward combat tricks. And so typically, if this was going to be the pack I was drafting, I would just take the Heimerdinger. He is a pretty reasonable build around. This is a decent start with an Eager Apprentice, and I'd be cool to just take Heimer. Katarina is also, she's fine, but this is just a supporting champion. This isn't a build around. So we're going to be taking the Ashe. Who comes up second? Zed. Interesting combo. Okay. Interesting. I'm not. This, I guess, at least kind of illustrates why I don't really like starting with Ashe. The Zed is a reasonable combo, I guess. We would be looking for a combat-centric champion. That is what Zed is. But I don't feel like Ionia Freylord really play too well together. Typically Ionia wants to be like pushing towards elusives. Or just some kind of like utility cards. The Freylord decks tend to be kind of like stall the early game and then crush with big units, and they aren't two abilities that like pan out too well together. But given like the way that these cards have fallen, I would probably take the Zed, just kind of on the back that Ashe and Zed both like to be in combat, where Twisted Fate does not. Soraka is kind of happy to be in combat, but not so much with the Freylord units. She wants to be hanging out with the Bilgewater guys so that she can be getting these bonuses. But again, pack on the left, taking the Zed. Let's see what keeps moving on. All right, yeah. Given the start, I would want to start with the Icevale Archer Tavern Keeper. I think these are just stronger units, but we can have some combos here. The Conspirator can combo with Icevale Archers or with Fey Guides. The Kinku Lifeblade, maybe we can get some boosts from the Starlit Seer. Sure, maybe we can make these work together. Okay. Here, I would like the Discipline pack. I think this is probably what we're going to start seeing a lot of since we've taken 2 Discipline packs in a row, but they aren't guaranteed to fall over here on the left. But this is okay. Jeweled Protector hopefully finds some elusives to work with, but we'll see how that goes. Oh man, here's the real power in Frozen Solid, the Outriders and the Troll Chant. Not today though. We'll be taking this Highwayman and Twin Disciplines. I'm really not a huge fan of the Highwayman. This is the kind of pack where I'm good to let Twin Disciplines go because I think the Highwayman is so weak. But it's what we're bringing to the party today. Okay, Rhymefang Wolf of the Tavern Keeper. Sure. I think that's probably what I would end up going with here. We're kind of like really spell light, and we're really light on Frostbite, so these Rhymefang Wolves aren't too spectacular. I'd probably just be more interested in the Blade Scout and the Will of Ionia, try to piece together a more aggressive deck, but this is where we're at. And okay, these are what we would really be looking for. Here's the Brittle Steel Troll Chant. Our unit to spell ratio is all out of whack. We want Frostbites, even if we do plan to build around Zed. We still want some amount of Frostbites for our one Ashe, our Starlit Seer, our Rhymefang Wolf. We do need some spells. We'll be kicking things with the sparring student here. Okay, Faithful Key Guardian. Sure. I mean, I don't want Icequakes. Again, don't want Navori Highwaymen. This is a fairly weak pack, but I'm okay with picking up Tasty Faithfolk. Okay, okay. Keep up the discipline. I would be kind of interested in Caught in the Cold, although Icy Yeti's pretty turdy. We don't. This is like at least one of the combos we could ideally pull off is using Frostbites with River Shaper. That's not something that we've really got together here. At least we're picking up a high value unit and Green Glade duo. And what worries me frequently with these left pack drafts is that we have like 5/7 drops, and that hasn't happened here either. Okay, Elixir of Iron with a dude, sure. That's probably what we'd be mostly interested in. We do probably could use Horns of the Dragon. We do need something kind of expensive here to help close out these games, but doesn't appear to want to make an appearance. Hell yeah, our third Highwayman, said no one ever. Okay, I'd be pretty spot on with this though, with the Mighty Poro. This all around great 3-drop and then the big combat trick. Hate me a Sown Seeds. Also hate me a Shatter, but there will be a Harsh Winds here. I really go out of my way to pick up these Harsh Winds, even if we aren't building around Ashe. But we got a combat trick with a horrible card. Let's see if we can make the most of it. Okay, and a couple 2-drops, I'd be on board with that. Let's see what we can get out of our trades. Here we go. Cool. I'm cool to trade away the Highwayman for a Brittle Steel. Don't need to pick up Fey Guides or Usaris. So this is everything we want. We want to get these Highwaymen out of our deck. We want to pick up spells, and we want to pick up Frostbites. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Alrighty. Interesting. And so, this is why I like to do this on occasion. I've never really stoked about drafting Zed Ashe from like a theorycraft perspective. It seems pretty terrible, but at least gives us an opportunity to come in and give it a shot. Here, I think this is a reasonable start. I mean, we're never cycling away Zed. The one I'm kind of like not stoked about is Navori Conspirator.
I must get out of here.
Okay, but I don't think we're going to get like a lot of value out of attacking into this aristocrat. Let's pass, see if he plays anything. Probably doesn't change our opinion. Does not. If he like opens for 2, then I'm okay with that. I want to be playing Green Glade Elder here. We just have this handful of units. Let's just go ahead and get him on board.
No greater gift than knowledge. No.
Okay, and I'm just going to prevent damage here. We're about to drop the Zed. He's going to have to put some blocking in front of it. I think, we just got a million stats of cards in our hand. As long as we're able to drag this game out, we should be okay. Fucking really? I haven't seen a Bull Elnic in ages. Okay. Alright. Brutal. It's like here comes the troop, isn't it? Okay, this is kind of awkward. I'm trying to. We could have, gotten our Zed in on the previous turn with the Elixir of Iron. I think we have to try to shut down these attacks a little bit.
Hot on the trail. She's gonna be so happy. If it's a fight they want. Cut the breath from them.
Okay, I mean, this shuts down a lot of his board. We're not a deck that's really well tuned to dealing with these big units, but hopefully we don't have to see too much more in the way of these big Yetis. Alright, there's a way to chunk in some work with our Zed. I'm pretty on board with playing it. Do we want to add a Conspirator first? I don't think so in this exact spot. Do we want to attack with all of our units, though? He's gonna have to put like one thing in front of Zed, and he's gonna put either a Yeti or an Elnick in front of Zed. And he'll probably block the Shadow with the Aristocrat, so we would lose both units for Abomination. I don't really like that.
Do not deny
But
me.
I do like getting this in, trying to chunk down some damage on his big boys. He is going to put a big boy in front of Zed.
Get me out of here!
Okay. All right. It's always ultra scary to see the troop of Elnics come down.
My friend and I are toll collectors.
Okay. And my big worry here is we don't have any late game. Oh, I forgot. Get LOR Guardian up. Possession. Okay.
Looks like I'm ready. Bye-bye.
You're really just going to possess us for 3 damage.
I know a way.
So, I do want to chunk some damage onto this Enraged Yeti, so our Zed can freely attack. So, let's see how we manage this. Like, this looks reasonable. This is reasonable.
Said so.
Cool with going ahead and killing you.
What are you?
Let's just prevent.
I'm trying to feed my family.
Okay. Not super worried about this lifesteal, but this does put us in a spot now to where none of his units can profitably block Zed. That was our main goal with this attack. Wow, that was just a possession for 3 damage. There it is. Okay. I was like, I can't imagine he would just possession that for no value. Okay, and I feel like probably have to open. I feel like he's going to want to block both of them to try to keep him from flipping. And it's too easy for him to just add a like a 6-cost unit here that blocks favorably. Not LOR Guardian. Where's our thing at?
Forever watchful.
Yep, I guess there's no need to duo anymore.
Tonight, Varg.
Okay. And then the Anevia will be flipped next turn.
I bring the storm.
Oh, can't block with Zed or he'll just die. Well, we might have to block because we'll just be dead anyways. What happens if we do
Rip their
this?
flesh.
Go to 4? Okay.
Endless cold. Endless peace.
Okay, not feeling real good about this one. Let's see what we can do. Not a lot. Right. Your high rolls aren't hitting today, friend, but I don't feel like it's gonna matter. Zed Bull Elnick just annihilated our Zed, cut down our ability to do anything. My big concern here is to be able to get wide enough to block everything. I guess we can as it stands, we can survive without blocking one unit. But, I'm not sure. Wow. Wow. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, I mean, I guess I don't know what else you can say about that.
Winter take you.
Drawing 3 out of the top 4 after missing on a troop of Elnics, that's insane. Wow.
Full speed ahead. I protect this place.
Right.
Take shelter from the cold, little creature.
So how can we do 10 damage with this Green Glade duo? That's what this one's gonna come down to. Okay, so let's put Zed in front of something big. He's just gonna die. Let's put this in front of the next biggest, because you're just gonna die.
Stay back.
Oh, yeah, we can't. Oh. We're gonna lose our Green Glade duo. Okay. Yeah, if we take the 3 hit, then
Hold up.
all right. Don't think we have anything we can elusive through, but there's no reason to not check at this point.
Hang on, Zern.
We got Twin Disciplines. You're not going to do it today. Okay. Need a good trade. Give us some good here. Never picking up Soden Seeds. Alright, well, we can trade away another Highwayman for a Battle Fury. Battle Fury is pretty important here. That if you take a peek down at our curve, we have one 5-drop and nothing above. And so we do need just like some expensive stuff in here. And then it does play well with the elusives that we have. So maybe we can get something going out of it. No Battle Fury Teryx today. I'm still hype about that. That was like 2 trials ago. It's easy. It's easy to make my week, apparently. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Gangplank Katarina with Freylord in it. So probably like a raiding party style Gangplank. Interested in getting his plunders. Okay. I think we're okay with these. Well, it's awkward. Like, you know, if we're not going to hang on to Elixir of Iron, when are we ever going to use it? But we do need to pick up an early drop. And I'm not real stoked about trading out champions at this stage. So let's just do everything. Look for cheap. So, ooh, some Zed Ashe. I don't know what the deal with the Lower Guardian is. Why it doesn't want to show up.
Get him, crew.
Just like we practiced.
Not a thing. I'll restart the game after this one and try to get the deck tracker up, especially when we have this kind of awkward
A true Freljordian welcome.
non-standard deck, if you will. Go ahead and try to find a way to get that going.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's get a good look at you.
Sure.
Is that all?
Save the
Maybe
host.
this will lead to him open attacking. Like we never want to, never gonna be able to block with Zed, and so.
Let the bloodshed
All right,
begin.
we're not blocking you ever, anyways. He's tapped out, so we
I
can't
can
blade Zed. We could
hundreds
technically
like
block this Corsair if we
There
want.
is no one like me.
Okay, and then I think Ashe is probably just too greedy here.
No one gets in my way.
Do you ever have removal spells here? It's tough for him to ever just like do anything of importance. Or there's a Fey guide. Okay, I'm on board with this.
Stay hidden.
Should be tough for him to have a removal spell for this Zed.
For the Empire.
Okay,
Make
So
the
you-
Empire proud.
can't Whirling Death, you can't block our Zed. I think
Follow
this is
the
all
wrong
good.
Master.
We're happy to take any spell for our sparring student or our Fey guide. I have to imagine he doesn't want Zed flipping. He might just throw one of these away. Seems fine.
Came a long way for a bullet.
And I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with what I like to do, but oh, well, his Zed's not going to flip. I was going to say I'm really excited about just like Battle Furying this Zed, and then and then hitting for the 22 elusive damage. But he's not going to flip with this block down here. What you got? You're going to transfusion to take down a sparring student. That's completely okay.
I am the shadow.
I'm bamboozled.
Missed.
Interesting.
Pillage and burn.
Okay,
Hey, Krabby.
That's my resting.
we're just going for it
Stay
here.
out of my way.
We can take this full amount of damage. I just want to bank mana, and I'm going to Battle Fury next turn.
Only the worthy survive.
Love me a Battle Fury. Oh, shit's so cash.
None escape their
Alrighty.
shadow.
Let's see which champion we end up with here. Hopefully it's Zed. Hopefully with the Zed on the left, I'd much rather be hitting these Zeds than Ashe. Like, Zed can just hard carry a run where this Ashe cannot. It is a good Ashe. We need Rhyme Tusk Shaman would be fine with another Ice Veil Archer. Our deck would maybe even just want this Tryndamere because our top end is so non-existent at this point. Hitting big with both Hearthguard and Tryndamere, Babbling Bjerg, hitting either of these basically every time. But happy to pick up these Zeds so you can see how good he is when he just comes down on 3. So get this restarted. Okay, see if we can't do a little deck tracking now. Okay, double blocks with Diana. There we go. I did it. I knew I could do it. So let's see. I think we want a start like this. Cool to keep the Brittle Steel with the Wolf. Just look for an early game play that we can actually play. Okay. If we had a 2-drop, I just wouldn't play Sparring Student. But I think our chances of actually drawing a unit for next turn are pretty low. Especially with having things like Conspirators.
Sweep the leg.
Okay.
Left foot, left foot.
It's a tempting choice to apply to the Rhymefang Wolf, but he's got a gift giver.
Confine and contain.
We can just challenge these anyways.
Heed the path.
Maybe we'll get a better like Key Guardian on a Feyfolk or a Zed or something. Let's pivot. These units aren't any kind of value out of these.
You'll go no farther.
Have your big spell. We're gonna have to chunk these down eventually. Like, it doesn't feel like we're really getting these elusive draws. Speak of the devil.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
Okay, this feels like a much better Brittle Steel. Even if he has like a backup Pale Cascade, then we still get good value out of this.
An auspicious season.
Oh no, he has way too much health. Oh, I forgot his health wasn't going to go away. Oh, that's shitty. That's not nearly as good as I expected it to be.
The Yordle here's with me.
will be a good winter.
See if we can't recover a little bit from that blunder. It seems like he's probably just holding a sunburst or something if he's just passing with this much mana in what appears to be a Nightfall kind of deck.
Full speed ahead.
Well, I don't know. He's a double Lux deck. Maybe he just, I don't know, he's going to Concerted Strike us or something? None of this seems... I don't know. I don't know, guys. There's something happening, I guess.
Remember my words. Heed the path.
Real suspect. Why would he just come in for 1 damage? Huh.
Blessed
I want to keep
by
this, like, we have to
snow
win
and
this game somehow.
stars.
We're never going to go over top of this deck. And so I think we need to hang on to our duo.
Looks like I'm
Seems
ready.
like a good open.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
This card's revitalizing Roar. Somebody's not worried about their health total. Oh, Zed?
Pledge yourself to the shadows.
Can't say I approve of that. Okay, well, let's play it light.
I spilled!
There it is. There's the combo. God, so good.
Time for this candle to flicker out.
I'll melt away your shadows! Let's brighten up their day! For justice and all things bright!
What point can we stop caring about having the Starlit Seer? It's kind of interesting.
You're strange.
Not super worried about our health. Am worried about keeping Zed.
An auspicious season.
But the thing that I'm curious about now is if we're just going to ignore this Lux, or if we're going to try to Battle Fury hook her down. Feels like, I mean, if we're going to make a Zed play, I think I'm okay with just trying to remove these units, right? If we want to Battle Fury Zed next turn and he can block with Gift Giver thing, Gift Giver Snow Hair, then that's not real good for us.
Take my helmet.
I think we need to make a Battle Fury play onto his Lux. I don't think we can beat her.
They'll never see us coming!
So, I mean, like, back-to-back would suck, but it's just going to be a removal spell that takes down
Pushing my limits!
our thing. He's not going to be able to contest our Zed here, unless he has a second back-to-back or something. That's not good. I'm gonna build up another spark. Wow. Okay, that's certainly one way to do it. Take him to 6. Maybe we can find a way to win this with elusives, but that's brutal. That is brutal. 4. Wing hit. You like Jolt Protector plus Fey Guide. Yeah.
Keep running.
How many Guiding Lights did he even play? Like 4? Guiding Touch played 3. Okay. There's half the equation.
A drop of kindness creates many ripples.
We're at 13? Okay. We can't have him hooking our units, so. Yeah, this guy's got a serious case of the Havitals. So are we at 10, 17? We need a blocker now.
Out of the springs.
Alright, so we can win it with Fey Guide. Maybe. I guess it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, we could have tried to hold back to level up Usari, but... Oh, man, that would have won it, wouldn't it? Yep. We don't get any complaints about this one. I guess I had it in my head that we were going to our Fey Guide was our only answer. I should have tried to put. I should have realized that we could have used Kinku Lifeblade. Conspirator wouldn't have done it. I was afraid we just didn't have enough mana. Oh, that's brutal. Ugh. I just wanted more trade picks, anyways. It's not like that was a guaranteed win, but I mean, that was certainly a mistake. Completely overlooked that. I was tunnel visioned in on getting a Fey Guide win, and we can't play both Fey Guide and right. That's kind of my thought process. We can't play both Fey Guide and Jolt Protector in the same turn, so we need to go ahead and play Jolt Protector so that we can play the 3-cost unit and then Fey Guide. Was the idea there. I let it slip that we had a shitload of other elusives in our deck, so that was completely not ideal. At any rate, we gotta learn from our mistake and move on. Can't get hung up on it. Here, I would like to pick up Brittle Steel, but I'm just gonna move out our last Highwayman. These are so bad. Soul Squirrel can kind of function as a an expensive card in this deck as well. Whoa, he stacked up on Aurelion Soul. Okay. We got here. I typically don't like Greenglade Elders, but our deck is so unit heavy that I think we could potentially get some value out of this. Of course, we draw 2 spells when we try to make that play, but... Okay. I mean, maybe that's a bad game plan from the get-go, knowing that we're playing against double Aurelion Soul. We should just be hard mulliganing for Zed. It's gonna hit, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Here comes the Salt Fest. At least it's not as bad as when they play the 2-cost ramp card. I just don't like all of these high roll things. Alright, let's bury our Ashe. I want to cycle this to see if we can't draw another unit, which we can.
Traditions are lost if not passed on.
I guess if he's allowed to high roll, we're allowed to do it too. Oh, there we go. There we go for the full the full combo of high rolls. Jesus, having 2 drops plus an 8-drop in your hand on the second turn of the game. Well, I guess it's the 4th turn, but
Without a sound.
that's certainly a potent way to do it. If he plays Trundle, we just lose. I mean, Yep. Man, these have been like the worst Zeds today. It's not his fault. This is just getting savaged.
This way. Think before
Okay.
you strike.
I don't feel like this is worth a barrier here. We can gain a ton of health with this at some point.
Lesson.
All the world.
Then I'm
on
gonna
one
make our
arrow.
standard Battle Fury play here. And so, okay. This but has the 2 gems now, and then we're just gonna open into this.
As the arrow flies.
We go as one.
Something goes. You know, this is gonna come onto Ashe, and we're just gonna brittle steel. But
Found you.
okay, let's see if that can buy us the time we need.
Caught. The trolls are going to war.
Okay, all right. Well, we're reasonably well set against a go tall plan now. Not saying that I want to see him play Aurelian Soul on us, but we
It's
can
always
hopefully
cold
manage
in the
against this.
Freljord. It's good to be the king.
We can barrier into this Trundle. We're gonna add a unit. Who do we want it to be? Probably the Oro, since he can block here. Big card he can behold. He still has at least like 1 expensive since he started beholding on like the 3rd or 4th turn of the game. So he'll be getting at least a +2 on his Trundle. Again, I mean, we can Spirit's Refuge through this, but well, the Howling Abyss, cute.
The trolls are going to war. Ready when you are. Always ready. Now we hunt. Bow to your king.
This is just okay. Weird. Weird. So we're gonna Ashe's Trundle, and I think we can hook here. And we just want to be opening. Okay.
They won't suffer long.
Well, let's see how much of this pops off.
There you are. Nothing's tougher than a troll. But I'm
Curious if this is a mistake not to go ahead and just gain the health. He's not going to have any way to do direct damage to us, but not sure. Not sure if we should be saving here.
My axe is ready.
We feast tonight,
So
Bard.
we'll have issues with a frostbite, but other than that, we should be okay.
Come hither, you beasts of glory!
This is the kind of situation as to why I say maybe we should have just gone ahead and gained all the health when they start drawing flipped Dariuses.
Let the light guide you.
little suspect. Oh, I guess not so much. Okay. It's gonna Frostbite Darius. Gonna have to block this and the Shadow. Okay, that seems reasonable.
Shadows cut deep as any weapon.
Step away, coward.
Our time is over.
So close to flipping. Are we happy with just 6 health? I don't think so. Let's. Okay.
An auspicious season.
Short of lethal, right? We're 1 point off if we try to Shadow Shift.
Continue without me.
Alright, Zed, we're counting on you. Okay. That's surprising that he just passed last turn. I was expecting to get to add more units to the board when he had his barrier Lux. I mean, it was clear that he couldn't kill us with Flip Darius, but I'd have expected the Lux to at least come down.
Extend your senses.
Okay. Oh man, he's even got that combo, sure.
I will not hold back.
Okay.
Shadow approaches.
Master said we'll be
Dead, right?
pleased.
To make sure we're not dead. Oh man. Might have been a little unaggressive with adding our units here. I'm pretty glad that we gained all that health with our
Conflict
Zed,
is all
but
in the mind. My lands need me. Center your spirit.
Fly away while you can.
then recalls don't get us out of this.
This one will do.
Takes us to 3. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's Shadow Shift our Usari, so that if we need a Twin Disciplines here in the future, we have access to it. It's a little less flexible than, or it's a little more flexible than the Shadow Shift, especially since Zed's coming back to our hand. And then we just have to see if we can open kill with this Usari.
Master said we'll be pleased.
Maybe we should get 2 down. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, not super stoked with how this game has gone. This has been a little awkward. Okay, I'm pretty sure we just win.
Whew.
My final test.
Phew, jeez, that was a little more a little more challenging than I ever wanted it to be. At least we didn't get knocked out. I'm not playing the top-notch Runterra that everyone deserves today, but at least we're recognizing where things aren't going as well as planned. Okay with getting rid of sparring students. It's really only good with Zed, and we do need some just like top end, anything in our top end. I'm fine with that being Usari. I think Bolt Elnick is better than Wolf Rider, but it's not like a huge upgrade. Like in this deck, it's like a 5 into a 5.5, and I would be cool with Inspired Mentors, but I think the Kindly Tavern Keeper is the best of the 3 cards that we have, and it's probably pretty even to adding in a Usari. So let's at least hang on to our little bit higher quality unit. Okay. Man. Seeing those beholds, if there was like a card that costs like 1 mana that put an expensive card in your hand or something, like 1 mana invoke a card that costs 8+, like then I wouldn't be as upset about it. It's just so strange when like it's such a high roll. This before I continue on with my Saltfest, I think this is just going to be like a duo Z draw. So let's get rid of these other 2s that we're just never going to play, and see if we can't find a combat trick or something to protect our Z with. But no, it's like the deck building struggle is that
Hey, Krabby.
you're playing like 2-drop. The payoff on like your 2-drops and 4-drops is having 8-drops in your hand. You're supposed to get some big upside because you have to play a whole bunch of expensive cards to activate those smaller ones. But man, is it ever brutal to see it come down like that. It's just like, oh, if your deck is good, then you have like 2 8-drops in it. So you hit these 2s and this 8 is what you're trying to tell me? It's like, ugh. Okay, as far as this goes, there's kind of like 2 ways to look at this. It's like if we play Ashe, we can attack and hit his biggest unit. But what I think is going to happen here way more frequently is he's just going to play a Mist Wraith, or a Wraith Caller here, right? He's in both Nocturne and Callista. He's clearly doing the Mist Wraith thing. And so I'm afraid that what happens is if we add Ashe, then he plays Thing, whatever Wraith Caller, he can block the actual unit that he cares about with the Wraith Caller, and then he's still just hanging out with 2 actual good units. So I want to hang on to Icevale Archer for next turn. Let's just add a Stalking Wolf and then fully bank. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't approve of that, but we have another Z in our hand. Okay, so I mean, this is fine. Like kind of the same deal as the previous turn. If he looks to add a Wraith Caller here, then we can Icevale Archer to block if we want. Doesn't seem like it's quite necessary, but
Winter take you! If it's a fight they want,
okay. And against this, we just need to not die. So let's do some not dying here. I'm going to add Zed now. I have to feel like if you didn't have a Wraith Caller last time, he's not going to have a Wraith Caller this time. And so I do feel a little bit better about adding Ashe here. And we do have this Ashe Challenger combo if we want to pull that off. Or if we want to pivot and just go full Navori Conspirator, we can do that. We can play 2 combat tricks. Like we have all the tools that we need here. We're in a pretty fantastic spot. There's the Wraith Caller. Come on, dude. You were supposed to be around around forever ago.
Swiftly now.
Okay, who's Ashe gonna pop? The Wraith Caller itself? Let's do this.
Let's move.
These. Okay, this is what I would call a pretty good spot. Oh yeah, Greenglade Elder. This is my big concern with the hand buff style decks is, we're so late in the game. We just don't really have any units in our hand. It's tough for this guy to ever get value. Okay, he's not killing us with this.
There's always
And
a way
this
out.
open should be more than good enough to close this game out. Okay, well, we'll trade Ashe for any of this stuff. There is a world where we can lose this game. Well, probably not with 2 Twin Disciplines, but
As the arrow flies.
At least want him to have to block with his board. Those are elusives, I know, man. You got the fearsomes, I got the elusives. The fuck is that giggling? Jesus, I'm not sure how much the game sounds roll through. Like I've had issues with the amount of game sound in the past. I think it's to a point where people can hear it. If it's not good, then bitch about it in the comments. But anyways, here I would love to have these Ashe cards, the Shaman and the Harsh Winds, but being a left pack draft, we're taking the ones on the left. It really is pushing us towards the elusives here. So keep that in mind with our few trade picks we have left over. But I had a kitty getting into shenanigans. I haven't got any cat hair in my mouth this run. That's that's a hallmark of a standard free-to-play bust video. Deal with fucking cat hair in your mouth for 25% of it. Okay, interesting. He's in the Shadows and Dust. That's the Ephemerals deck, but he chose to go after the Hecarims. Interesting, interesting. Alright, well, I'm on board with this curve. We've done a primo job of drawing Zeds this run. I think we've drawn him every game. This is kind of one of these awkward ones. As you can see in that earlier game where the Greenglade Elder was mediocre to not horrible, we were on the even attack, so you could do this thing where you Elder into Zed. I don't feel like we ever want to do that with the odd attacks. We just want to play Zed on 3 and attack every time.
We see through all.
We can try to get some of this Elder value in the future, but against whatever this deck looks like that has a Hecarim stack in it, I can't imagine that we want to be slow here. I think we just have to push damage through fast. Go fast like Ricky Bobby. And if I would have known.
Pledge yourself to the shadows.
Oh, vermin!
Okay, well, get a chunk in. It seems like we're gonna die to a black spear here, but
I wanna go home.
that's part of the game.
That light.
Ooh, oh, we live. Okay. So, do we ever want to pursue this this hand buff style? I think we probably do. So I don't want to sow seeds just yet. I kind of envision doing it next turn. Purposely left our seer at 1 health. It's a little scary when it comes to making a Greenglade duo play.
A new seed.
Oop, sorry, had to stop it there real quick and take a phone call. I wanted to. I was like awkward. I thought like if we're gonna get this duo down, what's he actually gonna do about it? It really felt like he had some kind of one damage card that he wanted to play, but when he didn't follow up with our duo coming down, then felt a little bit safer. This is still a little awkward. Okay. Just need to not die. How's this attack look? This is never going to be for big damage, so we're going to take... If we block a 2, let's just ignore the Caretaker. We're taking 9 from Hecarim, 11 from Collector, 2 more from Collector. Okay, well, let's at least do this. We can add a 3/3 Life Blade and block one of his littles. I have to imagine if he didn't...
These are dangerous lands.
If he didn't play a 1 damage card source at this point, he probably just doesn't have one. Let's get you off board.
Not ruffle our feathers. I sense fear.
I really don't want these falling down to 1 health. Let's take it. Well, the best he can do is like +3 here with the Twin Disciplines. All to 4? Okay. He hasn't just given up yet. I guess he can. Ooh, Fury of the North is big. Okay.
They cannot strike what they cannot see.
I think we're good here. I think that's adding enough. He could have gotten out of it with like Vengeance or Withering Wail or something, but now that we've added these on board, I think we're safe. Are you fucking kidding me? I guess that was one thing we didn't consider, was just getting popped by Atrocity. Yep. Damn. I mean, we could have blocked. Is it like at what point are you going to give up on your opponent having a way to deal damage? He had ample opportunity to do them. It's just it felt so much like he was just like inching into like blowing us out with a Withering Wail, and he just didn't quite have to pull the trigger on it. So that's gross. Anyways, we're going in on the elusive, so let's pick up this Greenglade duo while we have the opportunity. I don't think we really need to go out of our way to get hatchlings. I'm more interested in the early game elusives than the late game. Yeah. Water, and already hit start. We'll wait till this game's over. But, yeah. I don't know. It's strange. I don't know. I want to see his hand. I feel like that there was like a way there, but I can't remember though. It's like Withering Wail isn't in. I don't think Withering Wail's in the Hecarim pool. I think Unspeakable Horror maybe though. Ooh. Wow, he's playing 2 Katarinas. It's so weird today. So much unexpected things happening. Okay, well, I'm going to dig for Zed. Let's keep this 2-drop so that we can play a little bit on curve and then try to find Zed. Draven Darius.
Explosives
Yep.
primed.
There he is.
Everything's in place.
I knew you were going to show up, friend.
Victory requires a sharp blade.
Can see the Debastian
Okay,
border.
I'll trade
from
Sentry
here.
in for any of this.
This'll shake him. Boom.
Ready the torches.
So we might have to, save our Spirit's Refuge to protect our Zed with from this Blurry Seeker. Just draw more Zeds. Lots of ways you can do it when it comes to if you're just going to draw a bunch of Zeds. Brittle Steel, another way to do it. Cool. Cool.
In the darkness.
It's like a classic early 2020 battle. End of 2019. Runterra open beta. Get your your Frostbite Zeds against Oh, he's never blocking with this Draven, right? This thing can't block. Just letting our Zed flip.
Claim what is ours.
Okay. Good to me.
I'll cut them apart. Face me.
Righty. We've done that. Now, do we... You got a whirling death? Stop and consider how you can ruin my day.
Time for the money
Fuck, you
maker.
discarded like a 6-drop? Shield breaker. Okay, there's a whirling death. Oh, I'm sorry, friend. I don't think we want to shadow shift through this. I think we just want our Zed to be staying on board. Right, because this gets like awfully expensive to be like shadow shifting back a Zed. I mean, I guess we could have just let him go and just played the Zed afterwards. That's in a similar spot.
And I thought I was already perfect. Ha ha ha!
I think it's okay. I do want to add this Ashe here.
On one arrow.
That's yeah, I'm liking that play less and less. It's easy for us to get in a spot to where like even if we like double lifestealed our Zeds, that would be pretty good.
Suffer long.
I think we're gonna get his Draven here. He can't just take this full amount. No way he just goes to 1, right? He just blocks Ashe.
I am the shadow.
I'm off today on on what the opponents are going to be doing. Wow. Seems like we're in a pretty good spot. We just need to go safe and play the tasty Feyfolk. Like our Lifeblade doesn't need stats. Let's do that. I like this.
Hello!
Hello! Hello!
Hello!
Charge! You're strange.
Lead the target.
I mean, where's that get us? Oh, that's way too low. Way too low. Okay, this is fine.
So cold.
You can just open now. He has to have 2 spells for this to be relevant, right? It's 2 whirling deaths. It's not out of the question, but it's pretty tough to do. Oh, not with Fury of the
They
North.
follow the wrong master. We go as one.
Okay. All right. Nice little 4-minute match. I miss these, man.
We
Yeah,
will all learn to
can't
feel
play
my
these
order.
15-minute invoke mirrors while you're taking a shit. You gotta have these realistic games that end in 10 minutes, under 10 minutes. Okay, all right. Now that we're really starting to get this elusive thing together, I'm happy to trade the Tavern Keeper for the Blade Scout. We don't have a lot of Blade Scout combos here, but I want to just keep pushing this curve down. At worst, you know, we do have like the 2 protectors, the stupid sown seeds we don't want. We have some ways to boost these to where they can be good beyond a target to hit with. We trade out our Conspirator? No, as a target to hit with Conspirator. I think this is good. I am tempted to pick up Brittle Steel, though. It's so good in those early turns with Zed. Have I unconvinced myself to do this? How many? Like 2 Life Blades is enough. That early game Z protection's so good. Okay, I've convinced myself. Let's take the brittle steel. Okay. Got my water now. We're hydrated. Shit's ready to go. Oh. That's what we needed to improve our game. A little hydration. Okay, so let's hang on to duo. Look for Zed. Reminds me, hydration therapy is a thing. It blows my mind that get people to come to your house to help relieve your hangover.
Hang on,
Blows my mind.
Buzzball.
Hey,
Oh well.
They'll never see us coming.
Sure, that would have been a wonderful, wonderful birthday present for me many years in college.
Do not fear the shrouded path.
We're gonna pop him. I thought he was gonna make a Fiora play on us, to just pass it back and then play Fiora and try to get a barrier attack in. This one's a little different, right? He's just gonna be adding one unit here, and this Ashe is just gonna shut it down. The Kawaii Rabbit just seems to have a horrific draw here. Wouldn't be surprised to see the concede come through. But as you can see, like, this is why the brittle steel is so important and why I was really happy to pick it up. You know, what if on his turn 3 he played Fiora and had a barrier, right? Then we're just here with Green Glade Duo and we lose our Zed. He's going to be threatening to stop any ground-based attack that we make. And so just being able to, completely kill his game plan for 1 mana while staying on curve, it's humongous. Looks like we got a rage quit here. Maybe if we drop an emote, they'll come back. Let's wave. There we go. I got him. He came back.
for the honor of my house.
Alright, well, we still attack with everything. Ashe is going to make this a 0.
I am the shadow.
Sorry, friend. I thought you rage quit. Okay. I mean... Okay, fine. I really just wanted to get the unit out of that, but... Like, if he's spending his mana on spells here, then, fantastic. Alright, can't imagine we have trouble from this point forward. Let's hit with our elusives on the left, our others on the right.
Show me a target.
Shadows cut deep
Get in
as
there.
any
It's
weapon.
7 on the elusive front. Unfortunately, no Battle Furies here. Gotta wait till next turn for the Battle Fury.
Gaze into the light. Oh, please.
So, you got yourself a concerted strike or something? Okay. Alright.
They will all learn to fear my order.
1 away from the final battle. I think I have a 2-7 wins and like a 0 win in these. I think that's how my left back drafts has run in the past. So I mean, hey, we're right on board for that, running towards that 7. With these, I'm good to get rid of this Wife Blade for the harsh wins. It's just so incredibly powerful. Be reasonable. Don't want flash feeds really. Hang on to our early play. Okay, so I mean, we're down to 1 Kinku Life Blade. So we do need to kind of watch out that we don't become too unelusive, but we're really just looking for the early game plays in our elusives, our Blade Scouts, our Conspirators, our Green Glade Duos, and not so much the expensive ones. Just the Kinku Lifeblade used to be so incredibly important in races, but Riot's almost nearly butchered the ability to play aggro decks anymore. Maybe that'll change once Go Hard is gone, but life's tough out there for a one health unit. So I prefer aggro based metagames. Maybe I'm in the minority, or It's just the way things flow on occasion, but played a bunch of Constructed recently and it was just super boring. Okay, anyways, we get rid of all these. Expeditions, on the other hand, far from it. Shit's cash. Not an ideal start. Not ideal. It's Ashe Vladimir. Okay. Wonder if he's going to be dropping Noxcria Arenas on us. Okay, well,
I'll try anyway.
we're here to get that Greenglade value. Greenglade Elder value.
Delicious.
I don't see any reason not to.
Traditions are lost if not
Get
passed
the
on.
bonuses while we can. I think I kind of want to just push forward with Swole Squirrel. We're a little far away from this Ashe being relevant, and this is kind of a scary unit for the duration of the game here.
United, nothing can stop us.
I'm just going to Brutal Steel whatever he has. The value in these is going to fall off super quick, and I prefer this to not just be randomly dying to like Nox and Guillotine or whatever that new card's called.
Is that all?
Oh, shitty dude. It's very shitty of you to do that. You ever blocking that? I don't think we are.
Master said will be pleased.
I'm not like real jazzed about taking 5 from this. We have a ton of frostbites in our hand, so let's see if we can't get something going on that front at least.
All the world on one arrow.
The idea here is that, you know, he's going to have one of these 5/5s. We can probably Frostbite Usari something down, and then Brittle Steel a different unit, or if he goes, you know, full big boy here, we can technically Harsh Winds, which is kind of, well, we don't have the mana. I thought we could Harsh Winds, but Twin Disciplines should survive us through combat here.
Show me a target.
Make sure that falls right. Okay. I mean, maybe there's an argument that we should just be slamming elusives at his face and trying to Battle Fury them down.
Stay back.
But feels a little dangerous. Not about all the danger all the time. Get transfusion number 2. How big are you now? 6'5". Brother's got all the tricks. Jesus. Okay. Wait, no. These frostbites, maybe he'll do something eventually. Before this game's over, maybe we'll land a frostbite.
What will you have?
Okay.
How about another round?
How bad is this if he has another trick? Like I think we can make harsh, like, I want to make Harsh Winds blocks. Harsh Winds, she'll be at 3. Her attack will put her at 4 next turn.
Very well.
Try to put damage on his units. I feel like we're going to get hit by Fury of the North here. I guess at least the Fury doesn't kill any of our units. Alright. I think the Tom Bank saved the day. Had to run to the door real quick. I'm all out of breath and shit now. Okay.
Who goes there?
Nope, we got a Fury of the North here where we can. Nope. Okay. Not gonna brittle steel this. I feel like I'm gonna regret it. But
Break the strong, slaughter the weak.
okay, so if we survive this next turn, we should be okay. Don't want to have the crystal arrow here. Oh, we can't do it anyways.
Think before you strike.
These are our
How
lands.
does that look? Leave us at 8? It's probably pretty good, right? Rather
Lead
just
the
take this
target.
one down? Leave us at 8? Seems pretty good. I think I want to do it like this. Just get his stats off the board. Okay. Are we dead? We're not dead, are we? One? Okay, planned it that way.
A final lesson.
We died a Blade's Edge. I'm not going to be happy. Okay, let's go ahead and get that out. Spend all this mana as quick as we can. Oh shit! Oh shit! We did not pick. We did not pick the correct unit there. Oh god! I didn't even consider a shatter. So I mean, we can use Sorry down both of these. We can Crystal Arrow through it. Damn. Gotta be real wary of this Crimson Disciple. Man, that's brutal. We should have. I didn't want to put too much value into our Ashe there.
A chill in the air.
Okay.
Whose fall will mark my passage? My final test.
Can we just go ultra greedy here? Try to gain 12 next turn? I kind of like it. Oh, we don't have a choice anyways. We can't Spirit's Refuge. But I think given the opportunity, I would want to wait until the next turn. We do risk, dying to like a transfusion or whatever, but if we're gonna, truly grind this out and win with these elusives, I think that's just the way to go about it. She'll flip on the attack, can't Crystal Arrow until next turn. Okay.
As the arrow flies, I'll lead us to victory.
Okay, how bad could this be? I don't think it's that bad.
A taste of my skill. This one will do.
Are we just dead? No, you can Brittle Steel down here. Yeah. These games are a roller coaster of emotions. What would he not play here? Just another unit? I want to bank. I want to get something good out of Jewel Protector. Okay. Hits this one, so this is still alive. I do want to hook his Reaver.
Psst, act natural. I gotcha.
Okay, still block that next turn. We got this 8 health monster to put in front of this thing. Still curious what this last card would be. It's like he didn't play it last turn. I think he just drew the Wild Claw this turn. Doesn't feel like it would be a combat trick. If it's like a shatter, he would have played it. Okay, alright. Guaranteed to win the final battle, right? These are all or nothing. 7 wins or 0. Let's see how we can upgrade here. Alright, let's get rid of Sown Seeds. This is a pretty easy one. It's just such a low value card. Okay. Interesting. I'm kind of cool with picking up Denies. This Faithfolk has been helping us win a lot of races, and we did trade away all of our life blades. -1. We still have 1 life blade. I just don't feel like we need Hatchling. It feels like these games where we've gone wide, we just win anyways. So I think I do kind of want Deny coming into the last game. It's another way to protect our Zed. And trade our Deny for our Rime Tusk Shaman. Also okay with that. Ultimately just doesn't feel necessary though. This is just such like more of a control-y card. Let's get rid of Key Guardian for the will. I like it. You want to high roll an Outrider? I'm not opposed to it, but no, let's pick up the Mentor. Really push ourselves to the early game. Okay, final battle. Ooh. All these people spent all their time visiting ftpbus.com, learning how all the decks work, picking the cards with the stars, avoiding the ones with the X's. Getting to the final battle against a dude just takes the card on the left. It's apparently the superior strategy. Why even bother thinking about things? Just pick the one on the left. Ashe Sejuani with an Aurelian Soul. Okay, well there's our Zed. We do keep Ashe. I've been kind of happy with these. Oh, do we just want full curve? Look for a 1-drop with this 3? Okay. Okay, okay. I think I'm interested in just full banking now. I don't think we ever want to block this. I really don't want him getting 5/5s. I mean, it's not as likely he'll pick one up like with the Avarosian Trapper, but I kind of want to keep myself open to drawing a like a Twin Disciplines. I think I like that. Then if he has a 3/3 for 3 here, we can just take some damage. Tall Tale, that's brutal. He would have never blocked anyways, but okay,
I am the blade
okay.
in the darkness.
Still on board with the happenings here. Coming with this, we gotta deal with a okay. Well, if we have to deal with Diana combat card, whatever it's called, let's at least deal with it
Stay hidden.
on the attack. And we're elusive now, so we're free to get in. Come on, bud, we're in the final battle. Here it is. This is all we needed. We just needed a little kitty help. Uh-oh, he's stopping and thinking about it. He didn't hit the obliterate.
I have many
Okay, okay. So maybe we'll be fast enough here. He can, of course, still block the Living Shadow, but this gets us in a pretty strong spot. Why would you do that now?
I am the shadow.
Okay. There it is. That's what everyone was looking for.
Pain is nothing.
Can we ever Battle Fury through this? And I don't want to lose our Zed because this is our elusive one. We don't have a choice, right? He's gonna fall. Let's at least see how. Let's see if he tries to get cute with the Traveler. Nope.
Searching.
Hang on, I forgot my units still have health. I forgot about those mathematics. There we go. That feels nice. I just I saw the 5 on the Battle Fury and was like, oh yeah, we're totally just gonna lose our unit here because Sejuani has 5 attack. Oh, and the Twin Disciplines. Oh, so nice. So nice. Feeling good. We're good, right? Flash freeze, okay.
Is this what you seek?
Alright, well, let's send him to the abyss.
Nothing
Okay,
escapes
I want to bank this mana. We're not letting things go without. We're not letting the Zed get shattered. So. We want to. I think this is fine. We can
A chill in the air.
chill this one. Add you sorry. Technically lethal him next turn, but that still feels a little on the aggressive side of things. Don't have to worry about this getting overwhelmed, so whatever
Look out for reavers.
whatever your trick is, I'm on board for it. Okay.
Alert the village.
Master said will be pleased.
Look what you've become.
Okay, okay. I don't think we need to open, right? Let's do this. Let's get Ashe
I
down.
will unite the Freljord.
Let's go ahead. Get a lot going. We're gonna get a lot going on here. Let's go ahead and rep lethal.
You'll soon understand my methods. Stay safe.
All right, bud.
I'll
You gotta
take
get
it
down.
from here.
Right, because that's 18 on the ground. He's gonna need another frostbite to deal with that. We can attack with this Ashe. I like that less and less. Let's just get our
Fiends
elusives in.
control.
I know a way.
Shadows cut deep as any weapon.
Not bad. I guess. Make a decision. I shouldn't have kicked you off. You can hang out. Okay. Let's just get a dude down.
Bring me tea to gain the strength of rivers.
I mean, it seems safe, right? It's tough for them to really interact with our board. Keep bringing the frostbites, I guess, but... Sure. Starts to get a little scarier. see if we get supernovaed or something. We're gonna get this Z in eventually. Okay. I don't think we want to just add any of these units to the board. Let's just pass. Want to make a shadow shift play? Like this happens 100% of the time.
Protect the villages.
So does this.
This isn't part of the training.
Down here, we can block with something. I don't know, Navori Conspirator and Shadow Shift. If we block with the Conspirator, though, we can't spend enough mana, so let's do this.
Very well.
Shadow Shift.
Over here.
Really curious about this Enraged Yeti attack and why this would be coming in.
Save the homestead.
Master said will be pleased.
Look what you've become.
Okay. Let's see if we can get out of it again.
Deny me.
Avarosans, stand together.
This one is mine.
I guess at some point we could we could twin disciplines our Zed's health so that we don't have to fall into a brittle steel every turn of the game. I mean, maybe we should have done that years ago, but let's play 2. Wait, oh, one brittle. One was a flash freeze. Okay. All right. Good game, friend.
I am the shadow. My skill is unrivaled.
There you have it. Nice little 7 winner. It's all about the Battle Fury. It doesn't get enough love. Nice. Nice.
Now begins a new era.
So there you
of
have it.
peace.
You know, sometimes you got to get in here, play for the memes, do a little left pack drafting. Glad to see it go successfully. I don't usually do a recap on these left pack drafts, but I mean it is interesting to a degree. This is used to be a fairly common deck with these elusives with the frostbites, but it tends to just be like the more constructed worthy decks are looking to play Brittle Steel and Omen Hawk, and that really being it. You can maybe find Starlit Seers, but really looking to be an Ionia heavy deck with a lot of elusives in it. But yeah, I mean, it's not a card pairing that I typically go after. Ionia and Freylord aren't really the best friends as far as expeditions are concerned, but you got to make the best of it with what you can do. And so I was happy to see, at least with our left packs, we were finding the Zeds as he was kind of the key unit. But yeah, it was pretty good. Like our 2 losses, 2 of these were I felt like one we had the chance to win, I just punted, and those were also games to where we couldn't play a Zed and attack. We lost those, and so went pretty well. Well, like we say, don't even bother looking at the side or anything. Just take the card on the left and move forward. But no, the real thing here is shown in the trades. At a real low level, I think you can see. Did we really pick up a Windfarer hatchling? Why is this wrong? It must have got confused. This was a pack. I don't know what happened here. I don't remember ever picking that up. Anyways, if I think the trade picks do at least tell a big story with what we're doing here, and what we do frequently with a lot of drafts is, there's a tough balance between picking up really high quality cards or getting rid of bad cards, and I tend to lean towards getting rid of bad cards. You could see that frequently with these Windfarer hatchlings. I don't know why this is here. I don't think we ever picked one up, but with the real keys that we had in our trades here, we got rid of all 3 Navori Highwaymen, we got rid of Sown Seeds down here, and we started moving out these Kinku Lifeblades once our deck could support being more aggressive. And so we were able to really identify, okay, we're a Zed deck, but what kind of Zed deck are we? We're one of these aggro early game elusive Zed decks that top ends with Jeweled Protector. And then, Jeweled Protector coming back to help these early game and elusives be relevant late game, right? Our Navori Conspirator. I thought we had a Navori Blade Scout in here. This seems off and wrong, but nonetheless, I think that was a big thing that we were able to do here, and what I think is probably tough to do if you're newer to Expedition and ability. I hope you all are able to pick up by watching some of these Expedition guides is what you want your deck to look like. And that's, I think, what makes these trade picks kind of interesting is, we're able to identify, okay, we want to be a Z deck. It's delivering us Z, thankfully, but we do want to be a Z deck. And then if we're going to be a Z deck, there's two that exist, right? At least as far as discipline goes. There's the real early game Green Clay Duo kind of deck, and then there's the late game deck centered more on Kinku Lifeblade. And we identified that, given that our curve ended at like 4, and a lot of that 4 was all those Kinku Lifeblades we had, that, we were definitely on the earlier game side of things. And so we tried to appropriately, A, take advantage of our Z with these Brittle Steels, and then B, trade into a cheaper style elusive Z deck. But yeah, cool. Nice little 7 winner. Hope you all enjoyed the run. You learned how to frostbite your opponent's units blocking your Z a little bit better. It's a good skill to pick up and have. And you had a good time watching. This is Bust. We thank you for being here.